Hello and welcome to today's show. I am your host for today, Jen Perry. You can call me Jay. I'm excited today because I am not alone in the studio. This afternoon, we are excited to present to you an amazing topic about youth empowerment through leadership and mentorship. I'm excited because I am joined by Natasha Mulenga, a CEO and founder of Hope Network Zambia. I am so excited because we are about to learn so much. So, without any further ado, allow me to call on Natasha. Can you please introduce yourself to our listeners, your background, and what inspired you to establish Hope Network Zambia? Just tell us a little bit more about yourself and what Hope Network Zambia is.
All right, thank you so much for having me today. My name is Natasha Mulenga. I am a passionate social innovator, STG advocate, founder and CEO of Hope Network.
Okay.
I'm also a proud United States Professional Fellows alumni under the Advancing Young Women and Innovators program. A recognition of my work in empowering communities through sustainable agriculture, youth leadership, and social impact.
Okay.
I founded Hope Network Zambia to equip young people, particularly women, with practical solutions like vertical gardening, nutrition education, and agribusiness skills. I believe that food security is not just about growing crops. It's about growing people, building resilience, and creating opportunities.
Okay. So, Hope Network Zambia is strictly for women.
No, it's strictly looks at the vulnerable groups, which are the youth group, the women, and the persons with disabilities.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So what really inspired you to to come up with such a thing? Have you already touched that, or what really inspired you to be who you are, to come up with such a big thing? I wouldn't it's a lot from what you've just talked about, from what you've said, it's encompassing stuff. So what really inspired you to start?
I have a passion in sustainable agriculture, and I'm a practical person.
Okay.
And I believe practical is not being emphasized as much, and we in the gap that's there between theory and practical. And looking at today's problems, there are problems where you find that there's climate change,
Yeah.
and those who are farmers today lack the equipment, can lack the resources to maybe channel their innovations, and that's a challenge on its own. That's agriculture challenge.
Okay.
So I decided to come up with the sack gardens. Initially, I started it because I myself wanted to start a business, but I lacked the resources.
Oh, okay.
I lacked the resources to start, and seeing that, I just started in simple sacks, mini meal sacks, and I started growing lettuce in them. So when I grew those vegetables, I realized that okay, that innovation was beneficial, but it was eating much of the space.
Okay.
And then I innovated a solution called the vertical garden.
Oh.
Where I used it to grow food, and I saw this solution was beneficial as well to someone without access to land.
Okay.
So I channeled it into a business, and I realized that I'm solving a problem in the community.
Yeah.
So then, which opted me and encouraged me to be the solution to such a problem.
Oh, okay, beautiful. I don't mean to pry, but do you mind telling me what you did in school? What exactly you studied?
I have a background in land and water resources management.
Where did you do that? Oh,
yeah,
beautiful.
of course, but had stopped because I realized that I had a challenge. Because many people wait and say, okay, until I have this position, that's the only time I'll be a leader. Leadership comes in different forms. It can even come in form of advocacy for something. You stand for something. You're already a leader in that field.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That actually leads me to my next question. You talked about leadership not being okay. Let me just ask it so that you answer it. Do you believe leadership is something people are born with, or can it be developed over time? Similarly, can anyone become a mentor? So I feel you should first start by answering the first part of the question, which is, do you believe leadership is something people are born with, or it can be developed over time? Then I'll ask the other part of the question after you answer.
Okay, I believe leadership is built.
Oh,
Yes, it's shaped by challenges.
okay.
Yeah, community and courage.
All right.
Yeah, as long as you have this, meaning you can lead in any community, you can lead in any space.
Okay.
So mentorship isn't just about perfection.
Okay.
It's about showing others what's possible. Um, Anyone who's overcome something and is willing to help someone else rise can be a mentor.
Oh.
In a time of global crisis and shrinking opportunities, mentorship is how we build hope.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right. So, um,
So starting by now, yeah. Okay.
okay. Let me. I just want to get something clear and straight here, because, um, leadership and mentorship are often confused for one another. Somebody might think leadership is mentorship and mentorship is leadership. I know you have clearly put out a difference, but I want you to just recall, just please give clarity on the difference again. If there's a solid difference between mentorship and leadership, so that we don't get these two confused. Somebody might be a leader and they're thinking they're a mentor. They might be thinking there might be mentors and they're thinking they're leaders. So is there a clear distinction between the two? And if there is, please just say it to us.
Yes, I believe there's a clear distinction.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, leadership is shaped by challenges.
By challenges.
You've gotten to undergo certain stages in life where you've overcome experiences that most others haven't. But I would say they're not completely different, but are similar in a way.
Okay, yeah.
Leaders can grow into mentors.
Oh.
Yes,
Okay.
they can grow into mentors because they've also gone through a process.
Oh, yeah.
A process of experience as well. So I believe they are not too different from each other, but a leader is more like someone who's gone through the rough times. But mentorship, you can just use your knowledge, something that you know.
Okay.
Yeah, and you just pick it out and say, okay, I've read something about this. You can mentor, theoretical part of mentorship.
Okay.
But a leader has gone through certain experiences in life that one person can.
Okay, so can we safely say leadership is more practical?
Yes.
This is something that is more practical as compared to mentorship.
Yes, leadership is more practical as compared to mentorship.
Okay, we have this saying that people usually say, I think I've used it a couple of times as well. The saying is, leaders are born and leaders are not made. Like, leaders are born and not made. But from what you said earlier, you are placing more emphasis on the fact that leaders are made. So does that mean you do not believe that leaders are born? A leader can't be born?
Well, I would say I'll not dwell on that statement that leaders are born.
Okay.
Yes, there are natural leaders that can just have that spirit of leadership, by natural abilities of leading.
Yes.
But need to be groomed. Like, you need to groom
Exactly.
that gift. It might be a gift. It might come in form of a gift.
Yes.
So you have to go through that process of going through certain experiences for you to become a leader.
Okay.
Yeah. So leaders are made.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. Without wasting much time, I'll go ahead and just ask my next question. What practical steps can students and young individuals take to find and approach potential mentors in their communities or institutions?
Well, I would say start by showing up. I mean, finding mentors. You can only find a mentor if you identify who you are,
Great.
what your purpose is, what your likes and interests are. Then when you identify that, you are able to find people that inspire you in that field.
Yeah.
I would just give examples. Like, for example, you can if you're into advocacy or just someone who wants to be a voice, you can attend community workshops. From there, you can meet someone who inspires you doing certain things. Uh, it depends on the field actually. So if you find your purpose and your who you are, you're able to be guided in a way you find leaders. I mean, you find mentors.
Okay.
So you can actually find them at agriculture fairs, health forums, volunteer. It's good to volunteer, and most people are reluctant in that, especially as young people.
Okay.
We don't like to volunteer. We feel like it's a waste of time.
That's true.
Yeah. So why should I volunteer for this?
If there's
Am
no
I going to
money,
get paid for this?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I feel just be proactive. Keep on going. Like, you never know who you will meet in that volunteering, or maybe a person can connect you to something that can actually elevate you to the next level.
Yes.
So be curious. Many mentors are nearby. They just need to see your passion.
Okay.
Ask questions, seek advice, and most importantly, stay teachable.
That's true.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a by the way thing, right? We have mentorship even in Christianity. I've got a Pentecostal background. I come from a Pentecostal church, and we believe in stuff like leadership, mentorship. This is a young Christian just growing up, coming up, and then they know their interests, they know what they want, and then they identify somebody who can be able to groom them.
Yes.
Somebody they're drawing inspiration from. So you identify such a person and you would like that person to be your mentor, right? So you approach the person and you tell them your intentions.
Yes.
You want them to mentor you, and and then they just give you a certain response that will just shut you off.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, what is the problem? Do you think my approach was wrong, or we have mentors that are not ready to mentor young people coming up? Maybe they're fearing that the person being mentored will be better than them or something. But where you approach somebody and you want them to help you grow in a certain area, but then there's just this negativity, the negative energy that they are giving you. What do you think goes on there? Who has the problem? Is it the mentee or the mentor? Because I don't understand.
I would say, in my experience, I have experienced such as well. Like, I've gone to certain people and maybe approach them. No, can you help me on such? But I'll say not everyone is. Don't always expect positivity from everyone.
That's true.
No matter how much that person inspires you, it can be for the fact that they don't want to support you.
Okay.
It can be maybe their schedule is
busy.
allow,
Like they're busy. Yeah.
And then don't get discouraged as a young person. Just keep looking forward and mature in your vision.
All right.
Along the way, you still find people that are willing to come on board to help you. Yeah, it's not, you don't have to rely on one mentor, or if you are denied an opportunity, you don't have to say, okay, my vision is shattered. Move on.
Yeah. Beautiful. That was clear enough.
Yeah.
So I will go to our next question. How does Hope Network Zambia integrate mentorship and leadership programs to empower youth and drive positive change?
We combine mentorship with practical tools.
Okay.
Yeah, so me, like I said, I'm a practical person. That's where my strength lies.
Yeah, I remember that.
I love to be practical. I love to do what I say. Yeah, and that has really given me credibility, to continue doing, and someone will look at it and say, okay, this person is a doer, rather than you sitting and So training youth and women, particularly, in gardening, nutrition, climate smart agriculture, and entrepreneurship.
Oh, okay.
So we don't just teach skills,
Mm-hmm.
we cultivate leaders who go back to their communities and teach others.
Oh, giving
Yes,
back to
giving
the
back,
to
yeah.
the community.
So this model directly supports the sustainable development goals
Mm-hmm.
and help build a healthy and food secure and economically active Zambia.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a beautiful integration. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, and I love the fact that you turn people into leaders that still remember where they're coming from.
Yes.
You know, people that will still go back to their communities and give back to it. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yes.
All right, so we are running behind time. So I wanted us to break, but are you okay? Should we just move with the flow? You'd like us to break?
No, we can move with the flow. I'm fine.
Okay, so I'll go to the next question. How does your organization tailor its programs to address the diverse needs of young people from different backgrounds and regions? You know, you deal with a lot of people,
Yes.
all right, from different places, different backgrounds, different regions. So how does your organization tailor its programs, right?
Mhm.
Like, how does it tailor its programs to address the diverse needs of these different people?
Yes, so
Yeah.
that's a good question.
Yes.
So we listen. We listen, we co-design our programs with communities.
Okay.
So because what works in Lusaka might not work in Luapula.
That's true.
Yes.
That's
So
true.
for women in agriculture or youth in agriculture, we focus on access to land that's if maybe they're in rural areas or something, markets, trainings, and finance.
Yeah.
But for the urban youth, what happens if you want to go into agribusiness or wants to do something economically empowering? We introduce, like, we promote vertical gardens and that feed families and generate income from small spaces.
Okay.
So one solution doesn't fit all, but one mission drives all, which creates equity.
Beautiful.
Yes.
You know, I respect people that deal with not only one mind or one individual, one personality. It is a lot to deal with different people from different, you know, places, different spaces in life. And so when I find somebody, especially a woman, being able to deal with a lot of people and managing very well, I respect such women. You are indeed inspiring. What you do is really inspiring. Yes. So what challenges have you faced as a young leader and mentor, and how do you overcome them? Like, I'm just from saying it's not easy dealing with so many people. So, you know, there are challenges that you face. So what are some of those challenges that you face, and how do you, or how did you, or how do you plan on overcoming such challenges? Because they're not just now. I'm sure they were there in the past, they're there now, and they'll be there in the future. So we're going to tackle this question as past, present, and future. How do you deal with such challenges?
Okay. One challenge has been limited access to resources and skepticism from others due to my age. You find people just approach me and say, how can she be championing for this? She's young.
Oh,
you see?
I know,
and
right?
people will just ignore me. I'm like, why are these guys ignoring me? They don't
Exactly.
believe in me.
Yeah.
But I show them through my, So, but I've also found strength in partnerships and persistence. Yeah, on a broader scale, Zambia and Africa face growing threats from climate change and economic shocks. Fertilizer prices have soared, as we are talking right now. Rains are unreliable.
Yes, that's
and young farmers are losing hope. So that's why we focus on sustainable, localized, and scalable solutions that we provide.
Beautiful, beautiful. But so far, it's working on just well.
Yeah, so far.
In as much as we're having all these challenges, are you able to just maneuver your way around? Like, it's working out?
For me, yeah. I'm, like I said, I'm a persistent person. I make sure, like, I'm persistent when I set a goal. Yeah, and I'm a doer. And I can't achieve everything on my own. That's why I call for collaboration and partnerships in a lot of areas. And I can see through my global networks, I'm having like global presence now. So I'm able to partner with them and bring scalable solutions to them.
Beautiful. Talking about partnership and collaborations, where can we find you? Do you have any social media handles? If somebody wants to find you, where do they find you?
Yeah, we are working on a website.
Okay.
Yeah, but at the moment we have the Hope Network page on Facebook. So if you just type Hope Network Zambia,
Okay.
you'll find our activities there, and you can even scroll down from the beginning of that page and see my humble beginning all the way to the top.
Everything is
there. So there's a track record
okay
of where I've come from.
So we have heard, I'm sure the listeners have heard, if they want to find Lady Natasha, just go to Facebook and type Hope Network Zambia. You will find her there. If you wish to partner with her or just get mentorship from her and all of that stuff, you are able to find her on Facebook. All right, now as our second last question, due to time we started late, so we apologize for starting late to our listeners and our viewers who are going to watch us later on YouTube. We apologize. So our second last question is, what advice would you give to young individuals aspiring to take on leadership roles or become mentors in their communities?
My biggest advice is that you don't have to wait. I started leading at a young age, before I had funding and before I had everything figured out.
Yes.
I started broke in minimal sacks, like I said. I've seen firsthand that leadership begins the moment you decide to take action for something bigger than yourself and learning to overcome that fear of what will people say. How would they see me? Yeah. So you don't need a title to serve. You don't need a position to solve problems. Whether it's starting a small garden in your backyard, helping your classmates understand nutrition, or gathering a few friends to clean up your community, that's leadership. Of course, it might not be easy. An easy cause. You are likely to be mocked. Yeah, you criticized and overlooked, but press on and let prayer be your sword. Don't let age or circumstances limit your impact. Yeah, learn as you grow, make your mistakes, ask for mentorship. For me, I run my vision with consistency and perseverance, and now I'm capturing the global presence to use my voice. So your ideas are relevant, and I can say put on that fire and don't be cold. Consistency is the key.
That is beautiful advice. I love the fact that you mentioned not having to wait. All right. Yeah, when we take this to church, it reminds me of the scripture that says faith without works is dead completely. And so if you are aspiring to be a leader or a mentor, why not just start? The problem is that young people are afraid to fail. They don't want to fail, but they forget that failing, you fail multiple times before you actually win. So that's a very beautiful piece of advice. I feel we just need to start, right? Regardless of what is there, what is not there, everything else. Like you mentioned, a leader is developed, right? So you develop. It just doesn't start instantly. It just doesn't work out instantly. You develop. So don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid to fail if you're going to be a leader with impact or a mentor with impact. Beautiful. That leads us to our last and final question. Looking ahead, what are your hopes and future plans for youth empowerment through leadership and mentorship in Zambia?
I see Zambia where every young person, girl or boy, rural or urban, has access to healthy food, education, and opportunity. A Zambia where women farmers have equal access to land and leadership. Yes. So through Hope Network Zambia, we are building a generation of change makers who will not just survive the global food crisis, but lead the continent in transforming it. Food secure Zambia starts with an empowered youth. We are the future, guys.
We are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I had a beautiful session with you, Lady Natasha. Those short but very informative, and I've learned so much. One thing, my take home for today actually is having to not wait for anything really. Just starting. If I aspire to be a leader, a future mentor, I I should just speak
Yes, again.
I should not be afraid to fail, because all the failures, I believe, are stepping stones.
Make
to
your
so-
mistakes as much as
Exactly.
possible.
You know, it's better you make your mistakes
Yeah.
now,
You
and then
grow from them.
exactly you
Yeah.
grow from them. So it's been a beautiful session. Like I said, we started a bit late due to circumstances beyond our control, and we apologize for that. Well, there we have it. Thank you so much for joining us on our today's show. Be sure to join us next week, Monday, same time, same station, on the Radio Campus Chronicles 91.7. See you next time. Thank you so much, Lady Natasha, for coming. We hope to have you again soon.
Definitely.
Sure. Bye bye. Enjoy the rest of your day.